Hey everyone, back with another tutorial. So this one's going to be pretty quick. I just wanted to talk a little bit about phase inversion. I think this is a really good trick to use on your bass lines or bass elements to create space in your mix. Essentially, when we talk about phase, we talk about the waveform that is produced by a synth that is essentially flipped. So if I just open this up, we can see sort of this phase. This saw wave here, then there's an invert trigger there. Now, if I actually go to Ableton on utility, we can actually read about what phase is. So if we look on the bottom left, what it actually says here is left, right, phase. These switches give you control over the phase of each channel. If engaged, the signal of the selected channel is inverted. It can be used to fix the incorrect polarities or create special stereo effects. Inverting both channels of the stereo signal is only audible if other related signals are present at the time. So essentially what this means is instead of your sine wave doing this, it will actually be flipped. So it'll be doing this instead. So I guess I can try to show you an example of this. I'm just going to copy this here. Let's put it on this one. Sorry, where is my silent bass? Go. Okay. So we'll go ahead and we'll just solo this. Now I'm not using this layer, but it'll be good to actually just show you what's going on. I'm just going to take this off. All right, so if we freeze that, we're just going to see if I can zoom into this. Sorry. Yeah, so if we see this waveform, we can basically see that it's doing this. Now, if I go ahead and invert the phase, oops, sorry, got the freeze on. Now, do you see how that flipped? And do you see how the sound actually changed? So do you see how the sound actually changed? Because what it does is when you play in this particular layer, it's actually basically one voice here, one voice here, there's none here. So it's two oscillators and one was inverted. So what that means is these are both saw waves. So you can imagine a saw wave. I'm just going to try to open up Microsoft Paint. Instead of doing something like this, which is your traditional saw wave, it's actually doing this now. Now, you can imagine if these two are playing in this example here, they're playing together, they're eventually going to clash. Yeah? But if you flip one, it's going to go like this. So it's actually going to make space for that particular sound. So you'll notice when two sounds clash, they get that kind of thickness, which is unpleasant. When you first start off producing, you kind of feel like that thickness is something that's good, but it's actually not. So I'm just going to play this sound again. Do you hear that change? And this is a little cleaner. So you can use the phase inversion within oscillators to create more space in your mix. You can also use it, as I do, or as we do, with a good trick that we use on our basses. You can use this really anywhere, but really works well on bass because I usually like to use it on the bass layers to invert the phase because, well, every other element in this track is going to be non-phase inverted, so it gives the bass lines a little bit more space. So the way you do that in Ableton is you grab the utility and you just turn both of these on. Now, if I solo it, it sounds the same, roughly, when you just... But in relation to the other elements, if we maybe, I don't know if you'll hear this or not, but let's give it a crack. Yeah, what you hear is it just sort of moves elements, moves this phase of this entire bus out of the way of the other elements. A really, really good trick if you ever feel like you don't have space for your bass lines. Definitely find something like utility, which inverts the phases. I know that we use this for Ableton. I'm sure if you look up, you can actually do that within the oscillators of each synth as well. I'm not really sure exactly what to do it in Silent. I usually just use utility. But I know in Inspire, I know in Silent though, you can use the invert button here, and that's why they exist. Yeah, so if you want to look up plugins online that invert phase, I'm sure you can find them. But yeah, really, really cool trick. All right. If you've made it this far, please, if you can, like and subscribe. That would really help us out. And if you did find this video enjoyable, there is definitely more on the channel. Thank you, and see you next time.